Okay. Okay. I love the visuals. Lots of new characters. Is he screaming white people? Wait, what? Okay. Interesting. They are, but at this point I don't feel none of them is actually Kira. This is bad, but their goal isn't to arrest them, it's to arrest Kira. Doing the Gendo pose. That sense of justice, as I was discussing in the previous episode. Yeah, you're not gonna get Kira. Exactly. And let's not forget that Wedi is also like there somewhere. Okay. Which one is Namikawa? It is the person that I was talking about in the previous episode discussion, because he does look like Namikawa. Cool camera shot. Interesting. Okay, he is not the one. He is not Kira. Yeah, there's no loss to you. Yeah, exactly. This should be a no-brainer for him. So he needs to... Yeah, he has no choice, basically. Now, whether or not L and Light would uphold those agreements. Whoa. I'm very satisfied. Yeah, great job. Great job, L. Light. Again, showing how much the Death Note actually changes him as a character. Whoa. Succeeding the title of L. Again, putting so much trust on him. Foreshadowing, perhaps? That would be the ultimate, wouldn't it? That's why I was mentioning this is very much foreshadowing. Because that is the perfect scenario for Light. Oh, great spinning shot. Matsuda. Whoa. This could also be another test from L. Great music in the back. Really sets the tone and the mood in in the scene.
ミサさん、あなたはライト君を愛していますか？
Okay.
ではライト君の役に立ち、ライト君と一緒に操作できるなら協力したいですね。天音ミサは第二のキラの容疑で L に取り調べを受けたらしいと。
Okay.
天音ミサが L のことを知っているかもしれないとなれば、必ず四つ葉はミサさんを CM に起用し、
Okay.
我々が勝てばミサさんは死にません。それに手錠がある以上運命を共にするんですよね。私が死んだらライト君も死ぬ。
I mean,
そうしたら
Misa's definitely not gonna die because Rem is the one who is controlling the person who is holding the Death Note. Like Rem would not allow Misa to die, so I'm not worried about that at all.
それに天音ミサ、この子の根性とライト君への愛は世界一です。
It has no equal indeed.
ありがとう、龍崎。
また友達が増えました。
ライトの友達は
Is it a real friend or a fake friend, L?
そしてミサは友達を絶対裏切りません。
More foreshadowing, I guess.
役に立ってライトにもっと愛されたい。
Oh, that's right, a new ED. Okay, so these are all a bunch of different languages that I'm seeing right now. I have no idea what the fuck they're saying. Oh, I didn't even notice Aizawa there. Am I jamming to this opening? Am I enjoying this opening? I kinda am. New characters, I don't know who they are. I still can't get over the fact that they are screaming white people. But what are they actually saying? Interesting that at the end it seems like light is in the Shinigami realm. I am really enjoying that opening, by the way. I don't know what to think of it when I was first watching it, but watching it again, I was like, yeah, it's kind of a jam. It's kind of a jam. No, interesting. Oh, that's Oi. Okay. Ah. Hey, bro. She's like, how many years old? Yo. Let's back up for a bit. Yeah, Rem is not having it. Bossing her around.
いいからやり直しです。
はいはい、龍崎大監督。
真面目にやっていただかないと蹴り入れますよ。
Okay, Misa. Now I'll save it for the discussion. And the axe stops. Yeah. Figures.
John Wallace です。
John Wallace. That is such an American name. Like the most default American name that you can think of when you're creating a character. John Wallace. How do you sweat? Like, how do you physically let yourself sweat? But she's gonna act differently.
前のキラは殺意のなかったもの、誤って人を殺してしまったもの、
情状酌量の余地のあるものに対しては極力裁きを下していない。
That is very hypocritical. If I were... Ooh, interesting. Interesting. This is... I'm enjoying that they are exploring that aspect of his character. But that is very hypocritical, knowing that he did kind of basically kill a lot of people that were quote-unquote innocent. Whoa. Revealing that. All according to plan. We don't know the plan yet. We are slowly seeing it unfold. Oh, okay. This is a very interesting direction that they are going for. Yeah. Higuchi. Now, obviously, Misa cannot tell them that Higuchi is Kira. Because they're gonna be asking, like, how does she know? So Ichiro in the back, looking at his son. Did you guys see his reaction? Suichiro's reaction? Obey him? L picked that up. L notices. Okay, where's this going? Aha. Changing outfits, okay. Come on, Mogi, yeah. The CG cars look decent. Interesting thing to say. Interesting choice of dialogue. Cool shot. Slow down. Then you cannot prove it. Oh wow, what a play. That's how she convinces him. How is L gonna do? Because L has been very suspicious of Misa in the beginning of the episode, right? When Misa was talking up to Light. there's a difference. There's a different aura to her that L notices. That's why he was looking at her, right? And in this situation, everybody else was shocked, except for L. Okay, Death Note episode 20 and 21. First of all, I will mention a bit about the opening and the ending. Visually, I like them a lot. I think visually they're pretty great. Love some of their use of color in them. I wasn't sure about the song choice at first, but after listening to like the second opening again when I was watching episode 21, weirdly enough, I was jamming to it. So I guess I kind of like it. It grew on me pretty fast, actually. So yeah. But something that did caught my eye with the opening is the fact that it ends with Light, Kira, in what I would assume to be the Shinigami realm. Interesting. I don't know if the red in this frame is like blood or just like a visual representation, or like just a visual metaphor or some shit, but I do find it interesting that we end the opening with Light being in the Shinigami realm. Possibly hinting at a death? Who knows? Who knows? And these are roses, right? But they're blue instead. Alright, so episode 20. We start by continuing with what we left off from episode 19. We were playing around with this person who is called Namikawa, and at first I thought that he could actually be Kira because of his character design alone and his demeanor that I personally saw in the previous episodes, but no, it turns out he is not Kira. It's actually Higuchi. This person. That's why he was making this comment right here. He has a reason for not fully trusting Coil, right? Some cool stuff, but this episode, mostly what I was thinking of. This episode brought me a question, and that is, what is the purpose of Misa? Everything else in this episode so far has been like fully explored, more or less in previous episodes, but something about Misa is, the thing about Misa is like, she has purpose before, and now that purpose was kind of taken away from her when she resigned her possession of the Death Note, right? And so far in this episode, Misa has always been like, I don't know, like she emanates this like very lighthearted aura from her, but at the same time, I'm not really feeling her presence in the story all that important as it used to be, right? And that is a criticism that I have until we actually watch the second episode. And in the second episode, things got, I don't know, interesting, I would say. So, in the second episode, we finally figure out that Higuchi is actually the person who is Kira and is the one who is holding the Death Note right now. It is Rem's Death Note, not Ryuk's. We don't know what happened to the Death Note that Light has so far into the story, because it's all part of the grand plan, right? And we don't know what this grand plan is actually about. We're just seeing it unfold one by one. So, an interesting thing that this episode, I mean, it's not really interesting. Well, it is, because it is something that has been brought up before, and that is the idea of the Shinigami having an affection towards their human counterpart, right? Ryuk isn't a Shinigami that really cares all that much towards towards light. He's just there to be an agent of chaos. He is just there to have some fun. He's there to have fun with light, and that is pretty much it. There's no like emotional or like emotional connection between them, right? But with Rem, that is a completely different case. And the reason why this is interesting is because of how many times we have established towards in this entire story that if a Shinigami falls in love with their user, they die. Rem has been shown again and again and again and again, especially in this episode, how much she actually cares for Misa. Going so far as to actually revealing herself again, telling her what to do, and actually obeying her despite the fact that she is not the holder of the Death Note. Rem is on a trajectory course of actually dying. I actually have no doubt in my mind that Rem could potentially die later on in the series. Like not towards the end, but like soon. Like very soon, because Rem is very much showing love and affection towards Misa. Not a lot yet. Not like fully love yet. But the affection is there. And this is when I was kind of... This is the part of the story where my suspension of disbelief was kind of being challenged. Misa immediately accepting the fact that she used to be the second Kira and that the Shinigami is real and everything, to me feels a bit too fast. Like, I get why it has to happen. But again, it does feel like a bit too fast, in my opinion. And the fact that she just immediately accepts it, I don't know. It just doesn't feel 100% right. But it is kind of like an interest. The way that Death Note has been written so far has been really interesting to me, not in a good or a bad way, just in an interesting way, because I'm slowly kind of seeing how the writing process work when it comes to Death Note. It feels like, again, and I have kind of discussed this a bit in like a couple of episodes ago, but it does feel like the people who are writing Death Note are writing the story as they are going along. At least that's how it feels, because there's multiple times when the story reaches a certain point, and that certain point is essentially when the story could have just ended right there and then. We see it in Ray Penber. Not Ray Penber. His girlfriend, Miss Naomi. We see it in Naomi because she has a lot of potential. She was introduced and immediately she has a lot of information that could have been useful into solving the Kira case. Unfortunately, because she is so packed with information that could jeopardize the entire story, they have to kill her off in order for the story to move forward. Same thing happened with Misa when it is revealed that she has a Shinigami eye. She has those powers, and we could have used that power, and she did use that power because she eventually meets with L, and that is the main purpose of the story, right? We need to find L's true name. That is the purpose of Light's goal the minute he is introduced to L. And that was taken away as well, because if Misa already saw L this early on in the story, well then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the end for L, right? So what did the writers do? They need to take that away. They need to keep the story moving forward. Therefore, they need to take Misa's powers away. Now, when it comes to Light, I can still accept that because it, still part of his like grand plan or something. Like, I can still accept that. But when it comes to Misa, it becomes problematic because, in my opinion, it does feel like the writers wrote themselves into a corner. They are forced to get out of that corner by writing something like completely. They have to force themselves into a certain scenario to get out of that corner, right? But the fact that they were writing themselves into the corner is already indicative of how much the writing can be a hit or miss sometimes. And here is like they are completely taking away most of the stuff that happened before, right? Misa gaining the powers, and then they said, nope, Misa has to we need to take away that power away. And then a few episodes later, they don't know what to do with Misa because they take away their powers. Therefore, we need to give her back those powers, or at least we need to make her the second Kira again. That is the kind of vibe that I'm getting. And not that I'm saying that this decision is bad, I'm just saying that the pacing towards this decision seems to be very fast. Because it does feel like a couple of episodes ago you changed this character's whole personality and behavior, but then you don't know what to do with that, so you kind of go back to the original state of that character again here. With Light, I'm pretty sure he is gonna become Kira again. That is, to me, that's like a given. That's so predictable. That's part of the plan. And the pace that they are going with Kira, with Light, I'm okay with. So far, I'm okay with. But when it comes to Misa, it does feel like bam, 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 bam. It feels too fast. Not fast enough for me to say that the story and the show is bad, because it's not. It's very entertaining, but it does present some flaws, and it does present like some issues that upon watching it does kind of make my suspension of disbelief kind of slowly fade away. Just a bit of minor criticism so far, because I was kind of criticizing like Misa's role in the previous episode, because we don't know what, you know, like, okay, Misa now does not have the power, like what is she doing, like there's no reason for her to be here. Like, is she just going to be like this background character who is only going to be like providing laughs and giggles and some maybe fan service? But then they decided, no, we're going to give her an actual purpose. While I do appreciate the fact that they are giving her a purpose again, I do kind of find that, I don't know, it just feels like they're going one direction with her character and then they revert back to another direction for her character in a short span of time. If it's a long span of time, then I can kind of accept that. This being in a short span of time kind of means like they are kind of rushing things just a bit. But again, that's just my opinion, and that is just me. That's just my first impression of watching the show for the first time. I don't know, maybe upon rewatch it'll be different, but this is just, again, my impression for the first time watching the show. Okay, so Misa finds out that she used to be the second Kira, she accepts it, she goes back, she acts it all out. And we end the episode with Misa and Higuchi on a car. Misa trying to prove that she is the second Kira by killing a person, even though that is actually Rem. And it is kind of weird, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Rem is right there, and Higuchi, for some reason, didn't notice that Rem was there and kind of got out and killed him. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's bits and pieces of Death Note here that will make me question stuff. But either way, Misa kills him, the person that, you know, the target. Higuchi believes that Misa is the second Kira. Kind of want to rape her here, but at least Misa says no, not right now. But then she records. She turns on her phone, records the shit, and everybody listens, except for L. L seems a bit distraught. I want to know what he is thinking of right now, but L is definitely feeling sus on Misa at the moment, and this revelation is pretty much the nail in the coffin for L. L is pretty much more and more convinced that Misa is probably the second Kira at this point. Just from his like expression alone, and just from like how they wrote L's like character throughout this entire show. At least that's what I'm getting. And that is the end of the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do enjoy my reaction, hit the like, subscribe, share the video, and if you do want to watch the next set of episodes, it should be available over at Patreon. Links are also in the description below. And with that being said, hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all next week for the next episode of Death Note. Take care, guys.